I used to be one of those guys. That's really scary, man.
No, did you normally just, when you did it, just go off of, phone calls or?
I worked for a few different places that were based just out into Jersey.
Yeah.
And basically the guy would call me, whoever ran the business would call me all day. Hey, I got another one for you. I got another one for you. He was kind of a slave driver, those guys. They didn't give a shit. They were like, as long as the car's moving with somebody in it, he's making money. I could be like 15 hours into the day, falling asleep at the wheel. He's like, get back, I got one more for you. Get back out there, or bring me the car back. And that's like another hour and a half to get the car back to him.
And sometimes you're like, yeah, I'll get a town car for me and the chick. You think you're doing something nice. You get there, that thing's just beat to death.
It's like
you can see the street as you're driving by. You're like, oh, God, here's your money. But I thought I was doing something nice.
I did that for probably 5 years.
Yeah.
And then things started to pick up a little bit with comedy, and my wife and I were going away, so I'm like, you know what, I'm going to call for a car. This is going to be like a little symbol of, a milestone of
moving
success.
on. Yeah.
I'm moving on. I'm going to get a car to the airport. This guy shows up, the car is beat to shit. He doesn't know how to get there. I got to tell him how to get to the airport. I'm like, this really backfired, man. I'd rather just be driving.
Can't get it started. Come on.
It's just the opposite. Are we in trouble? Are we in financial trouble here?
Yeah.
Is our ride?
Something I should know.
Exactly the opposite of what it was meant to be. This is all we can afford? Is this piece of shit?
I think I did it one night for an anniversary thing, and it was just terrible. It's like, great, thanks. This is really a special night for us. We appreciate it. He's playing some kind of crazy salsa music. Just it's like it's such a third world feeling that you can pick up sometimes. Some people like to have sex in front of the cab drivers. That's always nice.
I hear that. Some people are like, they think when they get in the cash cab, they're like, is this taxi cab confession?
Yeah, right.
And I'm like, no, and it's a little disappointment in their eyes. They're like, we were totally going to fuck right here in the back seat. Why did you say?
That's a great show, too. Have you ever watched that one, Fez?
I haven't seen that one.
The woman's like, yeah, then I blow him, then I eat his ass. And I'm like,
oh, really?
Really going on?
Wow. And then what?
Then he stick a dildo in my ass. Then I stick a dildo. It's never sexy. It's always disgusting.
Yeah.
He shit on me, and then I shit on him. You're like, I wouldn't even listen to this story.
When is she getting out?
And they try to sex it up a little bit. It's like, no, let's go to Vegas. We can find some.
Right.
Like, we'll pick up a showgirl. And half of the time when they go to Vegas, they're all like transvestites, and they're like, "Hi, how are you?"
Right.
And they're dressed up, just looking like a bad hooker, just looking hideous.
It's that, or people just overly tatted up. Yeah, I love them. I love women. And you're like, honey, you're just a little too tatted up. And if you're watching that show, you're up too late at night. You just can't get to sleep. It's that, or you happen to be seeing a Thomas C. Howell movie. That's is like when I always know it's too late.
Yeah, see Thomas Howell.
I don't know why. His movies will actually debut 3 o'clock in the morning.
What happened to him, man? He was huge, and then he just kind of fell off. Soul Man is a classic.
He must have had about, 14 starring films at least?
The Hitcher, remember The Hitcher?
Yeah.
That's a great movie.
Outsiders,
a little brutally violent.
Yeah.
Yeah, The Outsiders is like everybody was in that movie.
Right. And everybody went on to things except for him. He just got smaller and smaller and smaller.
He's going to be the next caller.
Fuck you guys. I'm trying.
I'm still making movies, you bastards.
All right, I will tell, and I won't tell the whole story, but Fez, you remember how you and I had a friend with a flat head?
Oh, sure, yeah.
He used to sell some product to C. Thomas Howell, which then C. Thomas Howell would take up and down the beach of Malibu and sell. Really? So he always had a side business.
Lotion, we're talking about it.
Some type of thing, something that'll get you through the night.
SPF 30.
Yeah. Something to make you fall more.
So he had something to fall back on.
He's still okay.
Yeah. He's doing great.
You don't have to worry about CT.
I know for a fact he's doing great. Because he couldn't be dealing with anybody better than Flathead.
Oh, yeah, dependable anyway.
It's funny, you were talking about you're up late, you can't sleep.
Yeah.
Watching something, you're watching whatever. You go to England, Big Brother over there is on all day, all night. It's like real time.
Right.
It's just on. So you turn on the TV at 2 in the morning over there. There's only a few channels if you don't have cable, what a lot less people do. It's just somebody sleeping. You just so you can't sleep. Now you watch some other guy sleep, and like, why can't I do that? This
like having a sleepover.
And it's so much bigger over there, right? Big Brother is
huge.
just
people
are actual celebrities.
Stay up and watch these people sleeping.
Yeah. Well, I've watched it on the computer, and it's really addictive. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I guess because it's like fun to look into your neighbor's house.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like that's
like
exciting.
Rear Window.
Yeah. But for some reason, and you'd think that one of the cable channels would pick it up over here. Now, Cash Cab started in England too, right?
It did, yeah. They did it in
so
England.
Many shows start over there.
Just a little bit before they did the one here.
How many? I mean, we pick up most of our shows now from England.
Yeah, so many shows. Like comedies. A lot of comedies over the years have come from British ones.
Oddly enough, West Wing was also a show that started in England.
You had me going. But you know what you did? You pulled it out. What you do, you're trying to find a little place in the middle of this and create humor. I love it.
See?
Yeah, we're just rattling off random shit. You're like, maybe we should say something funny, guys.
Oh, that's right. It's a show. Not
Are we
just
on the air?
stuff.
We're just shooting the shit here.
Yeah, and for me, I only do this for my own sake. I really don't care about anybody else listening. Please
well, then you're a true artist.
I honestly think of myself as an artist.
Yeah.
That's what I put down when I pay taxes. There's an occupation, I put artist.
I always check other.
Yeah, other. Not sure. Earl, what do you put down for yourself? Or you just hit the black thing and then move on?
Yeah,
and get your check.
Pretty much.
You guys get a check? Damn it.
Referring to black people in general. You guys get a check from the government? Or?
It's fucking great. Hey, Ryan, you're on Run of Fez. Go ahead, Ryan.
What's up? I was in a cab a couple months ago down in Mexico on my way to a bar, and
what, prison camp or something? What are you talking about?
I was down in Mexico a couple months ago, and the cab driver put in the greatest rap hits of 1994.
Sure, why wouldn't he?
That's a specific album
for your listening pleasure.
It was a mix that he made.
Oh, okay.
And he knew all the words.
You know. That's another thing. Why don't cab drivers just point out things of special interest to people?
Yeah,
that would be
boat
nice.
Tours.
Yeah.
On the left, we have the Armory building.
That's the old Russian tea room. The Russian tea room. No longer with us.
The most you get is...
that the whole story, Matt?
You get to hear them listening to foreign
Ryan?
talk radio. There's a lot of that going on.
What, talk radio?
Yeah.
Or radio just from their country.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Because you don't know that we have, like, Ecuadorian AM stations here, but I guess we do.
We must.
It must be just the tiniest little sliver that you can find on the radio.
Like, I always get the Caribbean talk station when I'm in a cab, because I always get the Caribbean drivers for some reason. It'll be like, yeah, let's get the news down in Haiti. I was in the cab once when, there was uprisings in Haiti, and they had, like, a man on the street literally doing a report. He's like, oh, it is terrible. And you hear bullets whizzing by and everything. And they're like, are you okay? How is the vibe down there? I'm really scared right now. I don't know if I'm going to be... And I'm sitting going, it's like, what is this?
Yeah,
like,
what do we have?
What city is this?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, what city
I like any cab driver who's mad at the government. Fuck Bush! Fuck Hillary! All right, yeah, I know. You're mad at everybody.
I got into a cab. I got out of the cash cab, got into a cab to go home at the end of the night, and... We're listening in the cab. We're listening to, it's just like a guy speaking. He's chanting. It's just kind of chanting in a language that I don't understand. And I'm like, so finally I kind of bite. And I'm like, what are we listening to? And this guy says, oh, it is readings from the Koran. And I'm like, really? And then I make the mistake of saying, asking him a little, so what's he talking about? And then I'm like, why did I just do that? And I had signed myself up for like 20 minutes with this guy. He told me the entire story from beginning to end, which actually, it was kind of interesting, but, it was a little scary at the same time. Like, this guy's a little too excited about it.
It ends with the towers blowing up.
Yeah. It ends it was too much.
You're in the cab, and he's like, I'm going to run in the Empire State Building for a minute. Yeah. Okay, then I'm going to run the other direction.
Just sit here for a minute.
Get out here. Ben Bailey's in studio with us.
We do this all the time.
Yeah.
There was that pregnant pause again. We did it by accident that time.
At no time at all did Fez and I ever have chemistry. We just, how people go, hey, I know where the other guy is going? We never do.
We all, just for a second, we were all like... Okay, let's do some sort of announcement.
Ben Bailey, he is in studio with us. He's the host of the game show Cash Cab that you can check out on the Discovery Channel weekdays at 5 and 5:30 p.m. in the East.
Hey, Rob, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddies.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, Ben, would you ever take the Cash Cab out to Retard Island where Fez lives?
Fez lives on
Retard Island?
Roosevelt Island.
Oh, Jesus.
Which, most cabs, you'll be the same way as Harlem. They don't want to go there.
They do not want to go there, and that's when I lose it.
Yeah.
When they say
That
they...
sucks because you're so close, but they just won't take you.
Well,
Yeah.
you got to go over a
You
bridge.
got to go over and back.
Through Queens.
Through Queens and then back across that little bridge.
The problem is nobody will pick you back up. They can't
You
get
can't
another
get
fare.
another ride coming back. Yeah.
So their thing is not so much it's a bad neighborhood.
Yeah, no, I would never take the cash cab out there.
Well, then, I would take...
It's not up to me, man. I tell you, I got to take them where they tell me to go.
I would tell you what I tell these other cabbies, Ben Bailey, that I'm taking down your cab number and I'm calling the taxi cab people.
Have you called the TLC on anybody?
Yes, I have.
See, because they have to take you.
Yeah, that's
no
the
matter
rule.
where you want to go.
Legally, binded to take you where you want to go.
Sometimes...
Well, within the city, within the 5 boroughs, they're supposed to take.
Oh, I see.
If you go outside the 5 boroughs, they could say no.
Yeah.
And they can haggle a price with you. If you're going beyond, like if you're going to Jersey, you want to go to Jersey, except for there's 2 locations in Jersey where they would have to take you. This was part of taxi school.
Newark, probably, the
Newark
airport.
And then what's the other one? I'm not going to remember the other one. But
Stone Pony?
Teterboro?
Yeah, the Wildwood Boardwalk.
It is a weird thing, though, because of prices. I remember I had a round-trip ticket to Florida that was $150. Then the cab to the airport was $45. So it's a round-trip $90 to LaGuardia and back, and then $150 another 2,000 miles.
Yeah.
It's just unbelievable how things are priced. And people put up with it. No one seems to say, this doesn't make sense.
Well, what are you going to do? I mean, it's either that or take 2 trains and a bus.
Yeah, that's true.
Newark Airport isn't bad now, though. You could take the train to the monorail.
And then take that over.
And that's not too bad.
Or the air train, yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever I fly back into New York City, there's always an argument between the cab stand guy and the cabbie over Roosevelt Island. Is it Queens or is it Manhattan?
It's Queens, right?
It's Manhattan.
How could it be Manhattan?
It is considered part of Manhattan.
You're
part
lying.
of that $45 flat fare.
If anything, I would think it was more of Key West. Why would you? Would it be cheaper for you if it was Queens?
You know what? Actually, it would be.
Yeah.
It would be.
But you don't want to give up your Manhattan address.
I'd rather pay the extra $10.15 that it would cost.
Admit that you live in Manhattan.
This
Exactly.
is 212, goddammit.
Have you seen that movie that's on
Yeah.
that
started.
Dark Water or something?
I've seen Dark Water, yeah.
It's takes place on Roosevelt Island. The water is haunted or something.
And the dark water running down from the bathroom wall.
It's a very scary island. A lot
It's
of
a little scary, yeah.
horrible
Not
history has
there.
happened there. There's been the smallpox hospital's been there. The insane asylums for New York were there.
Yeah,
I mean, it
that's
goes
the
back
building
hundreds
on
of
the
years.
South End that's still kind of there, right? They're
no,
kind of falling apart.
The one on that's there, that's smallpox, right?
Yeah,
That's
I think
where
so.
they used to
That's where the
basically.
smallpox was.
If you were sick in Manhattan, you got put on a rowboat, sent over there to die. If you were crazy, sent over there to die. For some reason, Fez is spending $4,000 a month to look across.
Are you really? Would you have a whole building over there?
To look across the river at Manhattan.
So you take the tram.
That's shut down now.
I did.
There was an
Is it
accident.
really?
Yeah.
After those people got stuck that day,
Yeah.
they shut it down. I didn't know that.
Yeah, but do they say they're going to reopen it?
They've been saying, ever since they shut it down after people got stuck for 12 hours, they said they were going to reopen it in August. I don't think they're going to.
You don't think it's going to
They're just
happen?
going to leave it.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to reopen it at all. But there was some $15 million plan that was being presented to Albany in the state to refurbish this whole thing.
And you don't know what's going to go down.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Jeez.
It's a very weird little
Sucks.
island where
you don't have a tram and nobody will drive you there.
You
can't get home. You
and then they're
take the train
really
is the only option.
they're really involved. It's like a very political leftist island. It's almost a commune in a lot of ways.
You gotta get out of there, man.
Yeah, there's a...
Get the fuck out of there. Move into the city. What are you doing? No, I'm just kidding.
I tell him this every day.
He's looking at me like, Jesus,
and then my chick brought it up last night when we went out to eat. And Fez and I are making some other changes. And she goes, well, when that happens, you ought